Arsenal Fan TV. Mo, you stopped whining yet? I heard you was there sitting in the stands with you. I saw the picture. He was like that. He's 0-0. I mean, it's very frustrating though.
Yeah, listen, it's not so much the result, but it's the manner in which we achieved it. You know, I get that sometimes you will draw 0-0, but you know, listen, I'm not in a million years comparing us to like a Barcelona. But when Barcelona draw 0-0, the opposition have performed heroics, right? I don't think Sunderland performed heroics today. You know, you know, they defended well.
They defended very well today.
They had great shape, but I don't see players, you know, covered in mud, you know, hitting the turf, sliding tackles, last gasp, goalkeeper pulling off world-class saves. I didn't really see that, and that tells a story. It just means that we were knocking on the door, but we weren't absolutely battering it down. And, you know, you can make excuses that, these things happen and, you know, you lose a bit of motivation, but they're called professional footballers because they're professionals and you've got a job to do. You have to come out and you have to give it your all. And I don't really think we did give it our all. We were very pedestrian, very lethargic today. Often it was just a case of, you know, ball at your feet. They've got a very, very good shape in front of them. We weren't incisive enough. We were just passing it from side to side. And the amount of passes that we saw, you know, going to Bellerin on the right-hand side, for example, it was just the theme of the game. And Sunderland were very comfortable. And you have to ask yourself, if they're this comfortable, then you should be looking to shake things up a little bit. As soon as Theo came on, there was a bit of incision. He did manage to get in behind a couple of times. But we were too late in making that move, and then even after that, fine, we started playing a little bit better, but again we should have pushed on, and Rosicky comes on with 10 minutes to go. You know, a performance like that, and we only made 2 subs.
You're the manager then. You're down to the manager.
Of course,
I mean, has he got a plan B for these? Somebody was saying earlier that he lacks a plan B for these type of games. I mean, what would be a plan B to break that sort of team down?
A plan B to me is a striker that is an absolute clinical, pacey, world-class striker. You know, I get that it's not easy to buy world-class players, but it kind of hurts me a little bit that world-class strikers have moved in recent seasons. Costa, Lewandowski, Suarez, and we haven't been able to snag any of them. So I think it will be hard to get a world-class striker this summer, but we need to get someone that's on the cusp of it and that can get there. And I think that will be our plan B. But look, today I do think Arsene Wenger should have made substitutions earlier and shook things up a little bit, but ultimately we have to look at it from his point of view. We've secured 3rd place today. So maybe, just maybe in his head, fine, that's dealt with. You know, let's not overexert ourselves. We've got a big game coming up. But I am concerned that we're taking this form into the FA Cup final because, you know, if I was an Aston Villa player or if I was the Aston Villa manager, I'd be sitting there watching this game saying, do you know what? I fancy this. What I would.
They did lose 6-1 on the weekend, Villa.
I get that. But do you know what? We lost to Swansea 1-0. And what was our performance? You know, when a big club loses, especially at home to a smaller team, you expect to like feel the wrath of a beast then in the next game. First half against United, tepid. You know, second half we improved a little bit. Today we've come here, tepid. Again, I say it time and time again, we don't maximise 90 minutes. And the first half, not as bad as Swansea, but still not good enough. And then we start knocking on the door in the second half. Why not do that all game? I just think that, look, you know, what I want to see Arsenal do in the run-up to an FA Cup final is what Mike Tyson used to do to opponents. He used to beat them before they used to step in the ring. Do you know what I mean? They were scared of him. No one's fearing us right now. Aston Villa are going to be saying to themselves, oh, this is a good time to play Arsenal. I don't want them to have that sort of belief. And, you know, fine, let's just say 0-0's happen, we can't do anything about it. The one thing that really annoyed me today more than anything was if I'm playing football on a Sunday for a team and we're the better team and we want to win the game and it's 0-0, if I get subbed off, I run off, I jog off. The referee's going to add on a flat rate of 30 seconds for the substitution, right? So you might as well sprint off, player comes on, job done in 10 seconds, you've got an extra 20 seconds. You know, that's the mentality that we should be having in these games. And Mesut Ozil just casually walks off. I'm not an Ozil slater. You know, I appreciate what he does. It's not all about, you know, blood and guts and that sort of thing, but that is absolutely basic sort of desire on display. And I didn't see it from him. And what gets me as well, I'm sure if Tony Adams was there, he'd be saying, get off the pitch. You know, I'm not going to swear, but he'd be giving him some harsh words. And there was none of that. Ozil's walking off the pitch, and everyone's cool with it. You know, that's not good enough for me. I think that we really do need to be pushing on. Ospina's done well today. He's kept us in the game. He's pulled off a couple of good saves. Koscielny had a superb game. And if they were on the same sort of form as our attackers, then it could have been a Swansea all over again. And I don't want to carry losing, you know, games into the FA Cup final. It's just simply not good enough. I want to see more from this. And also, what about finishing second? If Man City lose points on the final day, I think they're playing Southampton, we're going to be kicking ourselves. You know, where is that desire? And, you know, I'm not going to go over the top here and say it's all doom and gloom and this is the end of the world. Arsenal have improved this season. We can win our second trophy in 2 years. We can go and be the most decorated team in FA Cup history. But judging tonight on its own merits, it should have been better. The one thing that cheered me up, though, was seeing Sunderland at the end of it. They've achieved a 0-0 at Arsenal and they've avoided relegation. Yeah, so they've achieved something today. It's something big for them. Yet Chelsea celebrated more.
That's the professor, the so-called professor, why he's not starting. You know, Professor Wenger. You know, he's got the excuse of the FFP not going now. That is his excuse now, isn't it? With the financial fair play, not that's all. All that. That's another thing, right? All that going on. Playing by the rules, FFP.